But I mean, if a reactor is like a car engine, what is the gas pedal and what's the brake? Could you tell me about control rods and what happens if something goes wrong?
Yeah. Basically, you've got a rod of radioactive stuff, right? Well, it's radioactive because you've built a factory to make it that way. And one of those rods is radioactive. You can pick it up and put it down. Now, there are some classes of rods that you would not do that to, you know, but standard rods, which had to be, they had to have enough radioactivity in them, you know.
So we're talking about uranium purity?
We're talking about uranium, yeah. And they had to have enough to generate the power you needed, but they didn't have to have so much that you couldn't handle them. So it was quite a technique to design the rod for the type of generator that you wanted.
So I mean, what is kind of like the gas pedal and what is the brake?
The key things are these rods.
What is the control rod? What's the link?
A control rod is any element that you have decided absorbs some, although the particles that radiate, Christ, you've got to keep having to go right back to the beginning, because when you get a radioactive material, call it whatever name that particular one has, when you've got it, and you make a succession of things like this, you want to be able to move them about, you know, fairly safely in a factory, so that what you're going to do to get a reactor going, you've got to go to the end in a way and imagine it. What you're going to wind up with is a forest of these things. Now, you have to know that they're going to be, say, 6 inches apart each, you know, and they've got to stand upright or generally upright. So you make a core and drill holes down it. So you've got a core of generally solid metal, and it's got a core with a series of holes running. So this is a big thing, like
with the uranium cores going down.
The cores are going down.
So where's the control rod?
What you do above that, your rods come in, and they're suspended. They're controlled by an apparatus. It's an engineering job, not a sort of scientific job. You want your rods to fit exactly over the holes so that you can lower them down into their respective holes. And what happens is you have one rod generating, you can imagine, there's a bed of holes with the rods sitting in them.
The core.
And that's the core. But you can have, you put one rod in and it sits there. It doesn't do anything. It's radiating, it's always radiating, but they're placed so that you put another one there and another one there, and soon you've got a mattress of these rods. But in between them, there are other holes with nothing in them. And those odds are for the absorbers, what you were talking about.
The control rods.
Control rods.
Yeah.
And the control rods are rods who are they're materials that you've discovered to be really good at absorbing radiation.
I see.
So that means that all these rods, if they were all just sitting there, well, actually, at some point, they would cease to be individual rods and they would become a nuclear bomb. So,
wow.
Your core is sitting there all innocent, it's full of holes.
Yeah.
You put the rods in, and 2 rods, there's a bit of increase in radiation.
Yeah.
And that means flow of power. Because radiation is power.
Heat.
It's all power, it's heat. It's heat energy. It's made up of whatever particles you're dealing with. And what you do is you drop a number of, you put enough rods in, if you like, so that there's every hole has got a rod between it. And so basically all the power is being absorbed. Of course, all that other stuff, the absorbing stuff is gradually becoming radioactive itself because it has to. But the point is, it prevents a build-up of power. And you just have rods ready up above. So if, say, the power starts to come out of control, you drop a few more rods in.
Gotcha.
You know?
So it's essentially similar to a circuit breaker in a way. It's a safety mechanism.
It is really just basically a safety mechanism.
Okay.
But in the end, it's a controlling mechanism as well, because obviously the way you actually control the output from the thing, because essentially you want it to generate heat.
Yeah.
And then what you do, you also have tubes of water running through at a great rate. I mean, it's just pouring through, which also acts as a slight cooling agent as well. But actually what you're doing is heating the water. And so you can imagine the engineering that has to go into this, the design to get all this. It's complicated. And the mechanism's all automated in such a way that as long as you get the output that you want, you know, the heat output, you know, that's fine. And the machines are observing it all the time and automatically either adding more rods or taking rods out and things. You see what I mean? It's all done without human beings having to get any closer.
Yeah.
Because you'd be irradiated and killed very quickly.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, that beautifully explains control rods.
Yeah,
so,
that's what they do. They're just interfering the flow of power from rod to rod.
And if we were to go to a single sentence, why is nuclear energy the key to a clean future?
Well, because nothing's being produced except hot water.
Ah, perfect. Yeah.